Hello and welcome to Ninqueso Almost Live. This is episode number 57 and it is actually less than a week since the last one, which is a miracle for us. But I am El Ninqueso and I am joined by the person who is not in London, but Miss Bree.
Hey bestie, I am not in London.
You are
in
not?
Deepest, darkest Cambridgeshire. Actually, I'm about a mile from where you are now.
Exactly, where the sound quality is not as good as normal.
Yeah, sorry. I've had some medical issues in my family, and for those who are a praying frame of mind, Manhunk's father is very seriously ill in hospital and has been in Addenbrooke's for the last 3 weeks. So if you could have a word with the big man upstairs, that'd be great. So yeah, I'm staying with him just to help support the family. So here I am, not in London.
Not in London.
And not with my microphone. So I'm sorry. Oh, hello, little Kelly. Or as I like to say,
Jelly Kelly.
She's a bit jealous.
Yeah, she's a bit grumpy.
So yeah, I'm kind of curled up on the sofa in Manhunk's pad at the minute.
Ew. Yeah, Kelly's a bit grumpy because it's like sunny here today and her windowsill has got too hot for her to sit on.
Oh, bless. You need a little Kelly fan.
I know. She doesn't like it, like, because the sun goes directly onto the window where she likes to sit and it gets too hot in the summer. Yeah. And she's all like, oh no, what are we going to do?
Anyway, so I've got my cup of tea.
Yep.
As most days, come on, adult to say, most days. And I'm ready to discuss some bit of the gaming world, bestie.
And bit of the gaming
world.
Some
interesting stuff this week. I am very, very interested in what we've got to chat about.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Do you want to get just straight into it then?
You know what?
Just diving straight in.
I do want to take just a moment to tell you that I have tentatively done a little bit of terraforming.
Ooh.
I know. Animal Crossing New Horizons, for those who don't know. I have finally unlocked that. I've figured out how. And I also have figured out why I didn't have a coffee shop on my island.
Well, I believe there was a comment in the YouTube video that explained how you needed to do it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The comment said you needed to make sure you donated at least one bit of everything. I'm guessing you hadn't donated any artwork.
Yes, I hadn't donated any artwork. I was busy with my books and my fossils, which is, my one. Which is weird because I've seen a lot of great art in the world. I've been all over the world and seen some great art. But yeah, so that's what I figured out. So Red has actually opened up on Harv's Island.
Yeah.
And I've been there, and so far he's been offering me fakes. So,
yes. If you look at them closely, like they normally have something fairly obvious on the fakes, or you can do what everyone else does and go to your phone and go Animal Crossing New Horizon art guide, and then you just like bring up a list and you go, right, this painting, which one's the fake and that which one's the real? Okay, is this fake or real?
I did spend some time in art college when I was younger. I enjoy the process of creating art.
Well, you shouldn't be buying fakes then. If you've been to art college, you should know.
Well, this is how I did know that the Rosetta Stone doesn't glow blue. Anyway, so yeah, I've sort of like got to grips with a lot of stuff this week. So it's been hours and hours and hours on my island, actually, which is, me dissociating into another world, which I enjoy greatly, given the world as it is at the moment. So that's me. That's what I've been doing. What about you?
I've been back on Animal Crossing quite a bit. I've been doing some major reworks. So that's good. But apart from that, I've had a little bit of play on Switch Sports, which I still just want to call it Wii Sports. I don't know why they called it Switch Sports. They should just call it Wii Sports again.
I agree.
Wii Sports Switch Edition. That's what it should have been called.
Yeah. I've seen a guy actually on his Instagram. It was posted by his wife. He's totally addicted to bowling on the Wii.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so played that with Barlett and we did it online and Barlett beat me a few times.
Oh, tragic.
Oh, I know. Poor me.
So that's where we've been up to. I have actually discussed with the Manhunt this week about reinstituting game night.
Oh, game night.
So that might be good. And I also have visited it's like a game studio. It's about a mile from here, down at Hampton. So yeah, I've been there. It's like a gaming coffee shop where everybody does stuff, which I was like, oh, this is.
There's one of those opened up opposite Brotherhood as well. where the
Yeah,
golf place used
which
to
is
be.
great. And also next door they've got like a little playtown, which is role playing for little ones, and there's a sensory room in there. So those of you in the know that I am neurodivergent, and so are both of my grandchildren. And I'm quite excited by that. I think we'll all go and lay in the sensory room on a Friday afternoon when the world's got too much. So yeah, that's me. That's me and gaming this week. It's been quite, a lot going on, really.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Should we do some quick news?
You mean the type of news that we don't really want to talk about, but we feel we should mention?
That's the sort of news we want to go on. Okay, first up, Summer Game Fest has been announced and will be streaming June 9th, 11 p.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, but most importantly, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
1800 GMT. Now, remember, we're not on GMT. We're on British Summertime, which is an hour ahead.
So what's that actually? 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 o'clock, June 9th. No idea how long it's going to be, but just a few days after that, we've got the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase, which will be at exactly the same time, 7 p.m. in the UK.
Yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern,
so,
10 p.m. Pacific.
I really want to see this. I'm interested in what's going on with Starfield.
Apparently, they have announced that pretty much almost all of Xbox's all of Xbox's first-party studios have given something for this presentation, so it should be quite interesting. Yeah, should be quite a bit. It's going to be long.
That's cool.
But I will probably try and stream that one.
Oh, that's a good idea. I think we've got a story later on that might link to that. So
probably. What else have we got? 343 admits Halo Infinite Season 2 launch has been bumpy. And it also says it's reviewing options.
Sam laughs hollowly.
That's never good, is it? 343 they're not having a good job with the old Halo series.
That's like the understatement of the century. Anyway.
Xbox Fan Fest returns with multiple in-person events in June in LA, Toronto, Melbourne and Madrid.
So nothing in the UK.
Nothing in the UK. None at all.
Coronavirus is out of control.
Fortnite joins Xbox Cloud Gaming and is the first free-to-play game on the Xbox Cloud streaming service.
Awesome.
Oh, basically, I can play cloud games now.
Yeah.
I know. I've been playing like Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy on my phone, and it just plays.
I've just got through. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, I've just got through Parks and Recreations to the point where Andy disappears for 3 episodes and comes back having lost 100 pounds with different hair, and is talking like Starboy.
I don't know what you mean. What is that?
People who watch Parks and Recs know
never heard of it.
Okay.
Never even heard of it.
Parks and Recreations is a very, very big comedy program. We'll talk about that after.
Never heard of it. And also, former WWE Stone Cold Steve Austin believes Breath of the Wild is the best Zelda game, which he revealed on a podcast, the Broken Skull Sessions, with his co-host. Apparently they were getting like quick fire questions, and one of them was best Zelda game. Cody Rose said Ocarina of Time, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin went, no, Breath of the Wild.
Stone Cold says Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you would like Breath of the Wild. I really do. Because it's another one of those games where it's just basically like, there you go have fun.
You see, that's it.
And you just got a massive open world where you can go wherever you want. Like, literally, like, the thing with Breath of the Wild, if you wanted to, because people do this, you can literally just go straight to the main boss and finish the game. Ooh. Or you can just go off and do everything else. It's really hard to do that because obviously you've got rubbish weapons and rubbish abilities.
So it's a bit like Skyrim, and it's like fantastic for anybody.
Even more open than Skyrim.
Okay.
I would say, because Skyrim, you have to do certain things.
Great. You do have to pursue part of it. Yeah. But you can lose yourself in side quests.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
There's
which is kind of what life is like for an ADHD person.
Yeah, if you like collecting things, there's like little Korok seeds hidden around everywhere, and there's literally hundreds and hundreds of them on the map to find. Oh. So.
Wow, okay.
And the best thing is once you find them all, you get given a gold poo.
Oh, excellent.
But that was the quick news. So you went
you
off on a little tangent.
Ending with a gold poop. Fantastic.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
let's do the main news then.
Yes. So if you remember last week, we were talking about the reports coming out from Nintendo of America, the unionization issues and everything that we're having over there. We've actually had like a statement from Reggie Fils-Aimé, who used to be the president of Nintendo of America, and he has said this isn't the Nintendo that I left.
Do you know what? Dude be throwing shade at Doug. That's what this is. He's giving him side eye and throwing shade. That's where we're at.
Can we just say, if you hire someone called Bowser, obviously the work relation is going to go down.
Yeah. So Nintendo America's come under fire for its alleged treatment of part-time and contract workers, and there's been a lawsuit issued. That's the background. We covered this last week. If you want to know a lot more about it, you can nip back and see episode, what was it, 56?
56, yes.
Yeah, episode 56. We covered this. We took about 10 minutes to really cover this and sort of like go and talk about some of the issues. So we can kind of do the TLDR. Too long, didn't read. It's really about, basically, it seems that the contract workers were not being paid well, but also not being treated the same as the ordinary contracted workers. But what they were doing was kind of holding it out, like, if you put up with this, we'll give you a contract, and then they never did. And there was talk about, this one person who filed it was fired, and they said really it was because they're trying to unionize, but Nintendo of America going, we're that. Don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reggie says, well, this isn't the Nintendo that I was in charge of, and I did all these good things. I had meetings and all that shizzle.
I was a good employer.
Yeah, but what he's pointing out really, in a not so subtle way, real here, throwing shade, is that the culture does come from the top.
Yeah.
So, he references his bi-monthly and quarterly lunches with employees and, associates and stuff. And he points out all these things that he did. Now, I don't know whether Doug Bowser does that or not, to be honest. Truthfully, the culture comes from the top. So what he's saying there is true, even if it is a little bit bitchy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's like, from the outside, I don't really see much about Doug Bowser. He's not as like in the limelight as what Reggie was.
Yeah.
He was much more like, Reggie was almost like a meme, basically.
Yeah.
Like the way he sort of would work and was happy to do like really stupid stuff for everything.
Well, he says he tried to maintain a healthy culture, and he was known for hosting lunches and all the rest of it. So this really is in stark contrast to the reports that we've had coming out recently, and you can only hairball. Has she coughed that up, or have you brushed it out of her?
I've been brushing it.
Oh,
she always goes grey.
Please don't ever show that on the podcast again. You filthy animal. Anyway, so yeah, my gut feeling on this is sort of like, it wasn't my fault. Look at him.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of what I'm sort of thinking. It's like, well, it wasn't me that was doing it.
Yeah.
I was a good boy.
I think also what he's doing here in a slightly more subtle way is protecting Nintendo. And I don't know whether, sort of there's something behind that, or he just still, buys into the culture. But I think what he's saying is there's a definite, personality driven issue here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe people are trying to get Doug Bowser out. We'll see. That one will develop. I think we'll see other things.
Yeah.
When someone like this comes out of the woodwork and says things like this, I think we'll see more and more people come out and talk about it. But I don't know. I mean, I do have to say that normally there is some kind of recommendation, and I don't know what went wrong here. Obviously, he didn't handpick Bowser, but he had to have kind of signed off on it at some level. So I don't know. Maybe he's just washing his hands of responsibility.
Do you think he did, or do you think it was the Japan head office that appointed him? Because that's who I would have thought would have done it. would have been
Yeah,
the replacement.
I would have thought he had some input, but maybe this is his way of saying, no, I didn't. This was nothing to do with me.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with me.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. No way. Yeah. So okay. All right. Shall we keep an eye on that one for the time being?
Why not? Why not? Let's move on. The Sony Bungie buyout is now to be investigated by the FTC.
Yeah, very interesting. This very, very interesting. Really, the financial. I've forgotten what it stands for. Federal Trade Commission. That's it.
Yes.
I keep thinking about the FCA in the UK. So no, this is the Federal Trade Commission. I think this is to do with exclusivity of content on consoles. And Trade Commission has been keeping an eye on this. They've been sort of ordering several reports.
Yeah,
so
I have heard
similar probes.
I don't know if it says in this
Microsoft.
article, but I have heard that the FTC has recently got a new head of the FTC who's very adamant. They're very adamant. They want to stop the technological consolidation of everything, which is why, because obviously this is we understand this happened with Microsoft and Activision, which was a huge deal. With this is quite a small acquisition, Bungie. I mean, it's small. It's smaller than Microsoft buying Bethesda.
True, but it sets a precedent. So you're right. Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard is multiples.
Yeah. You can understand
in terms
that.
of the value of the transaction, and the amount of hoops that they're going to have to jump through. But I mean, the only thing to note here, it's going to set the acquisition back by 6 months at least, because it means that there's a lot more to go through.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it actually affecting this, because they've already sort of said Destiny is going to stay everywhere. It's a free-to-play game, so it makes sense to keep that everywhere. The main reason I believe Sony bought this company was because of their work on Destiny and their knowledge of live service games, which Sony is making a big push to actually get more live service games out there. So obviously Sony is really good at your big one-player story-driven narrative games. So they've, from looking outside, that's the whole reason I feel that they've gone for this company, is because they can help them get to their goals. So I don't think it's going to be denied or anything. Because if we're going back onto the flip side, when it first came out that the FTC was going for Microsoft, their initial response was, no, Call of Duty will stay on multiple platforms, which I think if they have to do that just to get the deal to go through, it's understandable. So I don't see this being an issue, but it's interesting that Bethesda one went through without anyone even questioning it.
Yeah,
no one thought anything.
It does kind of make sense. There's a lot of legal hurdles and whatnot. So yeah, so I think the era of the huge deals like Activision and Bethesda are over. To be honest, I think the FTC are starting to get a little bit wise about where this will be headed, and as usual, the big institution is always slow off the mark. But yeah. Interesting development. But you saying that these big deals, we're moving on now, but you saying that these big deals are going to be possibly a thing of the past now because of the FTC. Embracer Group has just bought part of Square Enix. They bought the Montreal Eidos and Square Enix Montreal and Eidos Montreal, plus a selection of IPs for $300 million, which is nothing. 300 million is peanuts.
It's nothing that.
Yeah.
So basically, Square Enix has sold off their Western studios, and they've also sold off some of their intellectual properties like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex.
Yeah, Legacy of Kain, and apparently there's over 50 back catalogue titles that go with that as well, and it includes 1,100 employees across the studios, and as you say, it's about 300 million. US dollars, which is peanuts in the game world.
Yeah, from what I can sort of see by looking into it from things I've seen, they weren't really profitable, these companies. They weren't losing money, but they were pretty much just breaking even.
Yeah.
I know Square has lost a lot of money with the Avengers game, and Guardians of the Galaxy didn't perform as well as they were hoping. And they've been making some very dodgy games lately. But other people are sort of saying, is this a sign that they actually want to be brought out of their main studio? So they're sold off this little arm, which is like the one that's not really bringing in money, to sell themselves off to some other company?
Yes, because it will make the main a better proposition, to be honest. But they have said this enables the launch of new businesses by moving forward with investments in fields including blockchain, AI, and the cloud. And that's what I'm interested in. Where are we going with that then?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously like looking developed. I think the biggest surprise is like just how little that seems when you look at, like, obviously, so Sony's just paid $3 billion for Bungie. This is like 300 million. It's and it also puts Embracer Group as a very, very large publisher now. They have got
a large employer.
They have got so many. They've got so many studios and franchises now.
So 10,000 game developers, 124 internal studios. Content pipeline including 230 games with more than 30 AAA games. So
it'll be good to see what they come out with. Just what they come out, because at the moment, what they've been kind of Embracer Group have been doing, because they obviously were like, Nordic something or other originally. Then they became THQ Nordic, and now they're Embracer Group. But kind of what they've been doing, they've been getting the older games and just remastering them and putting them out there. So I think that's kind of like a way they're just getting short-term money in by just remastering all these older games, which is, I imagine, is a lot less work than making a brand new game.
Oh yeah.
And then, so hopefully to help fund more acquisitions and help fund like these bigger games. Yeah. So it'd be nice once, obviously, in a couple of years' time, once the bigger games start trickling in, it'd be nice to see what this company actually starts doing.
Faux show.
Yeah.
Right. So Sony getting a bit shirty.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand why, because it's a company and they want to make money. But there was this little hack going around, because obviously the new PlayStation Plus tiers are coming out. I can't remember what they're called, but the new PlayStation tiers are coming out. People found that you could like buy a load of cards and then stack them to get unbelievably cheap rates for the new thing.
Stop that.
Sony have stopped that now. You cannot do that anymore. Yeah. You can use the cards once your old one has expired. Yeah. Your membership has run out. So obviously,
it would be a prepaid PS Plus or PS Now card that they've purchased, and you could stack them. Before, but they've put a stop to that. And there's a whole complicated thing of how PS Plus subscriptions are going to convert into the new system, and it might be better if you can put a table up on the podcast.
Well, the thing is, it's like it was never going to be straightforward. If you're going to do a massive upheaval of your subscription services like this, it's never going to be straightforward. So is there a table somewhere? I don't know.
There is a table. There is a table. Quickly go over it. It says, if you're an active PS Plus member, you'll be transitioned to PS Plus Essential for the remainder of your subscription. If you're an active PS Now member, you go to PS Plus Premium. If you're an active PS Plus and PS Now member, you go to PS Plus Premium. If you've bought a prepaid PS Plus or PS Now voucher, you can't redeem it until the 13th of June in the US, 22nd of June in Europe, if you're already an active member. And when you do it, your subscription tier will be extended based on the already mentioned conversion list. So if you've bought a prepaid PS Plus or PS Now voucher but aren't a current active PS Plus or PS Now member, you'll be able to redeem it at any time, and just rewind that and listen to it.
Yeah, just
because the drama.
Just keep paying what you paid, and you'll get changed over when it happens. Basically,
yeah, it's a mess, really.
It's going to be a mess, but obviously it's such a massive upheaval of what their model is. So you're going to expect it. Boards,
people are outraged, but that's generally.
I mean, I understand people want. I mean, I like I like spending less money to get the same things. But the companies are obviously, they're not there to be your friend. You know, if they were, they would be like, yeah, it's fine, go on, do it.
The thing about hacks is everybody thinks they're clever when they found a hack. And then when people stop your hack, it's just,
people get all grumpy,
anymore, so,
throw their toys out the pram.
Yeah.
So it's not to be surprised they stopped this.
And this came out through a terms of service edit rather than any sort of like official announcement. So I think people were just like a howl of rage went up collectively.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine like Sony's not going to do like a big press release being like, "Well, we have stopped this because you people are being very naughty."
Because we're not getting enough money.
We're not making enough money. Our diamond-studded swimming pools cost a lot, you know.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know. They're saying it was mishandled communication, but I mean,
no, it was. They didn't think about it when they did it, and then they realised, oh God, what have we done?
Gamers are always smarter than they are, so as soon as they catch on,
we're just lighting money on fire. Quick, get the fire extinguishers.
It does always come across as like we knew that all along. Yeah, we knew, it's fine.
Yeah.
Except, like, no, gamers are really smarter than you are, to be fair. But there we are. Okay. So that's really sort of quite a small story, but it made us laugh, didn't it?
Yeah. Bizarre. Well,
okay, so
Microsoft, the Xbox Everywhere initiative.
Yes, a BB-8 Xbox is what you need.
No, we're on the wrong. You've missed a story out here.
Oh, no.
We've got the Xbox Everywhere. Yes.
Streaming puck. Yes, we'll do that story, yes.
So,
a streaming stick, it isn't. A streaming puck, it is.
Does it go wow, 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 like a Pac-Man?
Is it to do with the shape or what the hell?
I don't know. Have you seen like the I imagine this like the Chromecast. That's like a round disc that plugs in.
Okay, so for those who aren't following, we've been talking for a while, as back as early as last year, about Microsoft building its own streaming device for cloud gaming. But apparently now it's not a streaming stick, it's a streaming puck. Whatever it is, it's some kind of dongle, as we used to say in the olden days, to turn a device so that it can link the device directly to your console controller. So that's the way they're going to do it. So I think this is fairly good. I'll be interested myself because
my opinions have changed. I want to
do it on my phone. I don't like having the latest upgraded new phone because I hate being bothered by people. So my phone is always sort of like a little bit out of date. Not like you, bestie. Your phone is
my phone's out of date now. My phone's like I've only iPhone 10, I think I've got.
Yeah, mine's not even there. But
I'm on like 13 or something, so it's not the newest one.
Yeah. So to me, if I can just put this into any TV anywhere, that would be fantastic.
Yes, and also for me, if this does not only streaming but does remote play as well, 100% I would see the benefit for this. So that
I think it is going to, yes.
For basically, it's for like the bedroom TV. Then you can just leave your Xbox set up, and then you can still play it on any other device.
Because the bedroom is for two things. First one is sleeping, and the second one is gaming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually for gaming and then sleeping, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well,
my opinion
you don't even sleep in there, do you? You just mainly lay there in pain.
My opinion on cloud gaming has actually shifted a little bit. Yeah, I know. It's just like originally it was like, oh, cloud gaming.
Stuck in the Stone Age, bestie.
Well, it's like
shifted.
I tried it a couple of times and it just never worked for me where I was when I was with my last internet provider. Then I got to a point where it's like, do you know what? I can see a point for it on like testing out a game on like, because you got all the games on Game Pass. If you can just jump in, literally play 5 minutes of it on cloud, even if it's a little bit laggy, gives you an idea of, do I want to actually download this game? Because that's going to take me an hour to download it. But since I've got my new internet that is fast, it's fiber fast, 900 megabytes a second download.
Holy moly.
it plays. It plays flawlessly cloud gaming on my phone and on my Switch. Like,
Really?
I've played like a bit. First game I played was a racing game, like a rally game, and yeah, I was playing it with a PS4 controller linked up to my phone, and it played fine. I've played through some Oblivion, I've played through some Guardians of the Galaxy, and I've not noticed any sort of issues whatsoever.
Wow.
So yeah, obviously I still prefer to own the games, and I just don't want the world to go cloud streaming just because I sort of can tolerate it now. But for lying in bed kind of thing, and the whole remote play and everything, just to be able to like lie in bed, play Skyrim on your phone kind of thing. I know I've got Skyrim on the Switch, but obviously it doesn't look as good as Skyrim on my phone now. So yeah, I think this is a very, very good idea. Just a way to open it up to more people, especially as an option for a secondary device, because, you know, the option at the moment is an Xbox Series S as a cheaper solution for your second TV. But the problem with that is there's no disk drive. So any disk-based games that I've got, I can't play on it. I know. But having a cheaper box, I think, is a very good thing. And do you think if they called it like the Xbox Series A or something, it would count towards Xbox Series sales?
Yeah.
So Microsoft's sales spike would suddenly go bloop.
So what they're saying is Xbox everywhere.
Yes.
That's the tagline. So
yeah,
apparently we're going to see a rollout later this year. Personally, I think this is going to come along with Starfield.
Maybe. I know Xbox have kind of been saying they want to get to a point where obviously everyone can do cloud gaming, and also you can cloud game any game that you own. They want you to be in that situation as well. And, you know, I'm actually quite liking the way Xbox is going at the moment. For me, they're the most trustworthy that the games I buy on my Xbox Series X will work on the next one, because everything, you can play games from the original Xbox. I know you can't play all the games, but you can play a lot of the games from the original Xbox and the Xbox 360. Whereas obviously a lot of companies, you get that big cut off. So it kind of makes you think, if I'm going to buy like these games, like the third party games, the Xbox is now becoming a more, do I want it on there or do I want it on the Switch?
Yeah.
Before it was always, if it's a third party game that's not really graphically impressive, I'll get it on the Switch. But the way the Xbox is going, it's like, if I can stream it and it plays perfectly, then I can still play it portably on my phone if I've got it on the Xbox. And that was the most convenient thing about the Switch, is the fact that you can just go, I feel like playing on the Switch now, you know? And if you can do that easily on the phone.
So the only drawback I see about this is, as you flagged, the connection strength.
Oh yeah. If you've got
of your connection.
I mean, my last internet was pretty good. It was like 100 megabytes download, which isn't shabby, but it wasn't good enough for streaming. And I think the vast majority of the world isn't in a situation where they can get these 900 megabyte download speeds at the moment.
And the thing that I've got to say is, like, here in deepest, darkest Cambridgeshire, where I am, it's only a mile from where you are, but the local exchange is really slow, and there's a limit to which you can get. So we're doing this on Discord, and normally when I'm in London, obviously I have hyper optic in my building, which is wired for that, and that's great, and my speed is phenomenal, and I notice a huge difference. But when I come out here, let's just speak like it is. Vodafone is trash.
That's who I've got. That's who I'm with.
Well, out here they have chosen not to do any upgrade words into this particular area where I'm living. So yeah, you can't even get optic here. So yeah, that's the only limitation that I've got.
They're rolling it out though. Optic is spreading through the whole of this city which we live in.
So let's move on to the story that I jumped to because I was so excited.
I'm excited about this.
Sticking with Microsoft. And this is 12 custom Lego Star Wars Xbox Series X consoles up for grab. And the one I've picked for you is the BB-8.
Yeah, that was the ones I would like, are either the BB-8 or any of the Sith Lord ones.
So I bought you a BB-8 years and years ago, didn't I, for Christmas when it first came out. And you've now reclaimed it.
Yes, I had a BB-8 that when it first came out, which unfortunately I lost due to the fact that I had a storage unit that, you know, I didn't pay for. So obviously I lost everything inside it. But I found one. I was walking past this is the whole story, but I was walking past CEX like a couple of weeks ago, and there was one in the window, and it was like £45. I was like, oh, if CEX is selling one for £45, then they must be about 20 quid on eBay. So I went home to eBay, and lo and behold, I found one for £28.
Yay!
There he is. And what I like to think is that this is the one that I had stolen from me, and it's come home again.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we had a lot of fun with that Christmas, didn't we?
Yeah,
So,
the cats loved it.
At the time,
This is BB-8 rolling around.
We were sharing a house. We were not a couple. We were just sharing the house, and the lounge was about 28 feet long, something like that. And it had
laminate
nice
floors as well. It's
floor.
perfect.
Yeah.
See, on my carpets, he's a bit like, oh, I can't quite move.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun with that. Was that the year we had the croque-en-bouche for Christmas?
I think it might have been the croque-en-bouche year.
Oh, it was great. I know. Good times. I do feel like we need to get back to sharing a house because it's such entertainment. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day. Perhaps we'll share a nursing home when we get older.
Not a nursing home.
When the family put me in a nursing home. Yeah. So yeah, there's lots of these, and they're Lego Star Wars 12. Not many. The way that you can get one is via a Twitter sweepstake. So you go to the Xbox account on Twitter and you retweet the tweet that has all the picture of all those on, and the hashtag is Lego Star Wars Xbox sweepstakes and hashtag May the 4th.
Yeah, and if you're watching this and you can see the pictures, let us know in the comments which one you would like.
Yeah, choose one.
Yeah, choose one and let us know.
Which one I would get, to be honest. Which one do you think I should get?
Let me look. I think the Kylo Ren one for you.
Yeah, I think so.
I like the black and red ones, which is why I like the Sith ones. Like the Darth Maul, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren ones all look really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I like the BB-8 one. The BB-8 one's just cool.
Yeah. Before anybody picks Princess Leia for me, I am non-binary, so please don't do that.
But yes, that's not the only silly story that we had this week.
Yeah.
What's next? Do you know how great Animal Crossing is? Have you ever felt like do you know what? I'd love a soundtrack album of this. Well, good job. We got Play Asia, where you can import Animal Crossing New Horizons sort of
KK
soundtrack.
Slider's latest release.
The second one as well.
What gets me about this is it's on CD. Who has a CD player these days?
It's for collectors.
Seriously?
It's for collectors, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have a way to play this at all. I would have to put it on my laptop, rip the CDs onto my laptop, and then move it over to my PC.
Some people don't even have a laptop anymore. My laptop is going, a bit south, and I'm like, I probably won't replace it with like a traditional laptop. I'll probably do because also Windows is awful. Still, after all these years, still awful. So I think probably I'll get a tablet with a keyboard for any sort of like bits and pieces of work I need to do. But yeah, I don't understand this. I believe CDs will still play on a DVD-ROM drive, and that's the way that you do it. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Although they won't play on your PlayStation 5. Doesn't read CDs.
No.
This is why you can't. It will on the Xbox though. The Xbox Series X will play CDs.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. I have a Series S, don't I?
No, you don't have a Series S.
That's
you
next.
You have an Xbox One. Sad
next.
edition.
That's next. So yeah, you get this if you want the soundtrack to Animal Crossing. I don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, I personally, I find it, the KK Slider music, I find it enraging.
I don't ever do the concerts that often. Some of the tunes are all right.
No, and do you know why I think that is? I think it's because I have something called Misophonia, which I've discovered fairly recently. And what it is it's to do with sensory processing. And for those of us who process sounds at a very higher level, what we can do is there are certain sounds in life which will cause an irrational outburst of anger or violence. I would just say that I don't get violent, but I do get very angry about certain things. So the reason that I became aware that this is a thing that I have was my daughter talked about those ASMR videos.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
So the ones where people whisper or they do that. Hello. Oh! It's happening. Anyway, so I listened to those and I had an instant. Stop it.
I absolutely hate them. I'll stop now.
Honestly, I feel like the rage building up in me. We're gonna have to might have to take a break in a second. Anyway, I listened to a few of those, and I discovered that what's wrong with me? These are just making me violently angry, and I feel like I sort of like, and then I don't know what this is, and then just by chance, I was going through a forum where they were talking about sensory processing disorder, because what I was doing, I was looking for a new pair of headphones because there's certain places which are a little bit off the chain. So I wanted noise cancelling headphones, and there were a lot of people talking about misophonia on that. And then I had a look into it, and I was like, oh my God, that's me. I can't believe that. So I went into and found some testing videos. So some videos that they'll do with certain sounds, and they'll play them to you. And if you do have that instant visceral reaction and you already have a sensory processing disorder diagnosis, then they'll say, yeah, you unfortunately have misophonia. Please don't punch anyone. So yeah, it's generally, a lot of people find it with eating noises or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it can also be other sounds which can really, really get to you.
And KK Slider is one of them.
Yeah, KK Slider. I could wring his little doggy neck.
Aww. Right. Well, in that case then, should we go on to our final story for the day?
The happy story.
The happy story. To be fair, the last one was happy. It was like Animal Crossing soundtrack. Anyway.
I know, but I turned it into rage-filled murder fest. Let's move on.
Yes. Some guys just bought a very, very rare Pokemon Lugia car.
Yeah, this it's good. It's a girl presenting person.
I didn't actually read who it was. I just saw the picture of the car and thought that would do.
They present outwardly as female, although I can't speculate on what their gender is. So yes, they have bought this little car. Are you going to give us a photo?
Yeah, the photo will be there, and they already own a Pikachu car.
Yeah,
which I admit is pretty awesome.
These are not as expensive as you would think, to be honest. Although the shipping did cost them $900 apparently to get it across, and it's a little bit broken down.
Gone over there and driven it back.
Yeah, I would really.
Yeah,
I don't know whether it's capable of driving. So apparently they made 6 of these cars originally. Yeah, so it's a Lugia PT Cruiser promotional car, and they do have a Pokemon car as well.
Yeah, so, and if anyone wants to buy me one, I would happily accept.
Yeah, can you put it on your Amazon wish list?
I'm not sure they sell it on Amazon.
That's a segue into me saying, Bestie, put your wish list below. And speaking of wish lists, actually, I will just say that this morning I found somebody on Instagram, which was really great, who is operating wish lists for autistic children who are fleeing war in the UK. Now, I'll try and get a link so we can put it below as well. So imagine fleeing a war zone and at the same time trying to support an autistic child. So obviously they've lost a lot of their stuff. So I've bought something off the Amazon wish list for a little boy who's now in Poland who needs a weighted blanket. Aww. So if anybody wants to do that, we'll try and put a link below to that. And so if you can help, because obviously we are thinking very much about people in Ukraine. It's really not going well out there. So we love you. We connect to Ukrainian people of every shape, size, and neurotype. So
a needle pulling thread. That's the end
Yes.
of the news, which is good
That
because we're straying from the path a lot today.
I know, but I'm having one of those days. I'm having an ADHD very much
I can tell by the runtime.
distracted.
But we have
day.
reached that part of the I don't actually have any questions, so but we're still at the point of the
Well,
one
there you
where
go
we have
then.
questions
But
to ask people. I
that we
think
went
there was a
long
question
then, isn't
actually.
it?
I think there was a question that got in late for last week. If I
Bartlett.
believe right. No, it wasn't. It was from Eva.
Ooh, Eva.
I know. What is your for Eva wants to know, what is your favourite game to play at the moment?
Animal Crossing.
It's obvious, isn't it? Animal Crossing. I think that's what I'm playing the most at the moment as well, is Animal Crossing.
The thing is, you can take it where you go. In fact, I like it so much. I've followed a whole load of islands on Instagram
Oh yeah,
so that I can get ideas for terraforming.
you need to come over to my island because it's changed totally from when
has
you were
it?
last there.
Okay, I'll visit it.
And
I'll
I need
tell
to
you what,
visit
my
your
man
island, and you need to
thinks
visit
it-
Bartlett's island, and she needs to visit your island. She gets very
Yeah,
upset
we
that
need
she
to
hasn't been there
exchange
yet.
the codes. Yeah, we need to exchange the codes.
She was like, "I don't think Miss Bree wants me on her island."
Well, my island's a bit empty because generally I don't want anybody else there. It's like my happy zone. You know what I mean?
You need to do like a nature island then, like just a wild forest and things like that.
Yeah, I will. Once I've paid off my house, I will.
I'm getting close to finishing off my loan. I've got 200 million to pay. 200 million, 2 million to pay, and I've got about 1,700,000 in the bank. So my next veg crop should give me enough money to pay it.
I think you need to come over because I've significantly changed it. I've got a spa in the basement. I've got a gym in the upstairs room, and then I've got a weird little playroom.
Gym with a wrestling ring upstairs now.
Yeah,
I've got like my main room is now inspired by what's the name of the pub in White One?
Oh yeah,
the Bannered Mare. The Bannered Mare.
Yes,
it's inspired by the Bannered Mare. I've got one of my villagers' homes is inspired by the blacksmith. One of my villagers' homes is inspired by Helga's bunkhouse.
Fab. Anyway, I think probably we should start wrapping it up.
Yes, we should start wrapping it up. But if you do have any questions for us, you can leave them down in the comments of this YouTube video. But if you're listening to it, you can get us on Twitter with a hashtag Ninqueso Live. And
once I go to TikTok, which I am.
She's going to TikTok.
Yeah, I'm going to TikTok.
I don't understand TikTok.
Living in the 80s, bestie. Living in the 80s.
I'm living in a box. I'm living in a cardboard box.
Are you ready?
Oh, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I'll count you in.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Will this Batman outro really annoy Miss Bree? I think the answer would be yes. Find out the questions to these answers. Same cheesy time. Same cheesy channel.
You are horrible and actual stories may vary.
Give me the line.
Rein in my rage.
Give me the line.
And say goodnight, bestie.
Good night, bestie.